All right, good morning. Thank you all so much for your patience. We want to have our all-star team here assembled for you. Good morning. I'm San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria. Thank you for being with us here today in City Heights. I'm joined by San Diego City Council member Sean Elo Rivera, who represents City Heights in Council District 9, where we are this morning. Also joined by San Diego City Council President Pro Tem Stephen Whitburn, as well as now Kabashima, now Kabashima, I want to get that right, it's important, Executive Director of the Koren organization of San Diego, representing the San Diego Refugee Communities Coalition, and Gilberto Vera, Senior Attorney with the Legal Aid Society of San Diego. Got a lot of information to update you on, as well as an announcement about something new we're trying to do to support San Diegans during these ongoing difficult economic times. So we're here this morning at Colina del Sol Park, which is enjoyed by neighbors all around this community, but in particular the refugee community, many of whom live in this neighborhood and many of whom have struggled with the economic effects of COVID-19. We're here to provide an update on the city's progress on getting rental assistance to San Diegans who have found it difficult to pay their rent and utilities during the pandemic, and to talk about next steps, including my proposal to provide legal assistance to renters who are vulnerable to eviction. Through 2 rounds of federal funding, the city has received roughly $170 million to support COVID-19 Housing Stability Assistance Program. To date, more than $103 million has already gone out to help nearly 12,000 San Diego households affected by the pandemic. Is it Monday? It's Monday, everybody. Let me do that one more time for you. To date, more than $103 million has already gone out to help nearly 12,000 households affected by the pandemic and unable to pay rent and past due utility bills. An additional $54 million has already been committed to renters whose applications for assistance have been approved. This is great news, and there are many to thank for the shining success that this program has become. It starts with Rick Gentry, our CEO of the San Diego Housing Commission, which has administered this program since it was launched back in March. Rick, I want to thank you and the entire team at the Housing Commission. We know that San Diego's numbers are really national leaders when compared to other communities. We are in a very, very strong position in making sure that these dollars are not sitting in a bank account, but they're actually flowing to San Diegans who need it. That's incredible. That is a lot of hard work. And Rick would be the first to say that Asistania and others in the community, Molly and others at the Housing Commission are deserving of that credit. But at the end of the day, we have an incredible Housing Commission. I'm grateful for their work, as well as the community-based organizations who have partnered with the commission to help get the word out to families and to individuals that this program is available. Obviously, it's working, and the proof is in the nearly $160 million that has already gone out the door. Now, I was doing some quick math, and I'll remind you that math is pretty easy. So if you've already done it, you've beat me to it. With the total funding of around $170 million and $157 million either already sent or committed, we're left with approximately $13 million to go before we've exhausted these federal funds. Now, considering the scope of the need that is out there in our communities, we know that this money will go extremely quickly. And while there are approximately 23,000 households who have applied for assistance, a roughly equal number of households have initiated applications but have not either completed them or submitted them. And we want to urge those families who have started to apply and still believe that they're eligible for this program to finish those applications. Now, with that recommendation, I'm actively working with federal officials on a program that could provide additional rental assistance funding to local governments such as the city of San Diego that have been highly successful in getting rent relief to tenants and to landlords. While we recognize some other communities have struggled, we have not. If they are unable to spend those funds, give them to San Diego. Let's put it to work for the benefit of San Diegans. I'm also advocating for additional support from the state of California, who've already been extremely helpful by passing through a lot of their dollars directly to us and providing additional dollars for things like the acquisition of more housing for currently homeless San Diegans. In the meantime, on October the 5th, I will present a proposal to the City Council that would use $5 million from the CARES Act to create a program to provide eviction-related prevention and education and legal assistance to local tenants. This program, like the Housing Stability Assistance Program, will be administered by the San Diego Housing Commission. After September 30th, we know that we will lose some of the state and local eviction protections that have helped to keep people in their homes during the pandemic. And Gilvera will talk about some of that in additional detail in the next few minutes. But suffice to say, we have come a long way as a community. We know that there continues to be need out there. We will continue to advocate to get as much assistance to San Diegans as possible. And in the meantime, we'll make sure that tenants who are under the threat of eviction will have the benefit of legal counsel to make sure that as they enter that process, that they are properly represented. We know that that can make a huge difference in whether or not someone stays in their unit or ends up on the street. With all of that said, I'm pleased to introduce my partner in City Heights and the other communities of District 9, Councilmember Sean Elo Rivera, for some comments. Sean?
Thank you, Mayor. You navigated your case of the Mondays very well. I hope I will do the same. Hello, good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Sean Elo Rivera. I'm very proud to represent the 9th Council District where we are today. And I just want to start by noting just how impactful rental and utility assistance has been in our council district. And in Council Districts 3 and 9, I'm happy to be joined with Council President Pro Tem Whitburn. 40% of all applications have been between our communities, and the need is still great, as the mayor mentioned. As the pandemic continues to cause financial harm to families throughout the city, these resources will be crucial to a successful economic recovery, and we cannot leave anyone behind. As Gil and Now will be able to tell you, the insecurity and anxiety that runs throughout our communities is immense. And I'm grateful for the unwavering commitment of Legal Aid, the Koren organization, and so many others in working day in and day out to keep people in their homes and to connect with them to the support that they need. With each passing day, there are more people, more families that don't know if they'll wake up to find an eviction notice on their door at the start of the month. Every time we talk about eviction, it brings me back to some stories that I've shared in the past about some of the hard times my family went through, which really does make this issue personal to me. An eviction isn't just a legal proceeding, it is a process that uproots a family. I'm thinking about the moments where my family had to move, those rushed moves that were not planned for, the items and memories that were lost as a result, the days of school that were missed. We can prevent that from happening, and I'm so glad that the mayor is leading the way in taking action, 1, to provide legal protections to residents who need them, and 2, to do the advocacy to make sure that whatever dollars are not spent elsewhere throughout the state or the country come to San Diego, because we know there are folks who need those dollars, and we know that there's the community-based organizations here who will get them into the hands of folks who need them most. We need not see more families, more children experience the devastation of eviction. There are ways to prevent that, and I'm so glad that we're taking action to do it. I'm here to stand with Mayor Gloria, Council President Pro Tem Whitburn, and our indispensable community organization partners to call for that additional assistance from our federal and state partners. We cannot afford to lose this lifeline. I'd like now to pass it over to Council President Pro Tem Whitburn, whose work has been vital in preserving the livelihoods of thousands of San Diego families.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Elo Rivera. Good morning, everybody. My name is Stephen Whitburn. I represent City Council District 3. As of today, my constituents have submitted more than 4,600 applications for rent relief. There have been more requests for help from my constituents and Councilmember Elo Rivera's than in any other parts of the city. We're not talking about just a few struggling people or a few hundred struggling people. We're talking about thousands of people in both of our districts who have reached out and asked for help. My constituents live downtown and in the urban neighborhoods around Balboa Park. Many of them work at the hundreds of restaurants and thousands of other small businesses there. And when the restaurants and small businesses and Balboa Park Museum shut down, their paychecks stopped coming. Thank goodness we've been able to help with the rent. We can all be proud that the city of San Diego has had one of the most efficient rent relief programs in the nation. I want to thank Mayor Gloria and the San Diego Housing Commission for implementing this program so well. I want to thank our community partners for doing such a great job of spreading the word about the rent relief program. But we're not out of the woods yet. Thousands of renters continue to live paycheck to paycheck, and some still aren't getting a paycheck at all. Many worry they could be evicted. So I'm thankful the mayor is looking ahead at how we can provide information and assistance to renters in the event that they face eviction. Evictions can often lead to homelessness, and we simply can't afford to have more San Diegans living on the streets. Now I'm pleased to introduce the Executive Director of the Koren organization of San Diego, Nao Kabashima. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nao Kabashima. I am the Executive Director of the Koren Organization of San Diego, and I'm here today as a member of the San Diego Refugee Community Coalitions. San Diego Refugee Community Coalition is made up of 12 different ethnic community-based organizations directly serving many different individual and a family from different refugee community in San Diego, including East Africa, Middle East, Haiti, Afghanistan, and Asia. And many families we work with are living with extremely low income and then have unstable housing. And then many of them are really afraid of eviction because they know how difficult it is to find housing in this beautiful city. Thanks to this partnership with the City of San Diego and then San Diego Housing Commissions, our member organization have been able to provide direct assistance with rental assistance applications for community members who speak more than 18 different languages. I believe that this is the first time the City of San Diego is have official partnership with local ethnic community-based organizations like us to provide assistance support for our community members, and then our refugee and immigrants community members have this level of language and then navigation support at this most challenging time. Sorry. Without this partnership, most of our refugee community members would have never known that this type of assistance is even available for them. And we will continue working with the San Diego Housing Commission and the City of San Diego to provide direct support for anybody who already started the application with us, who are from refugee community, who need additional support. We will continue providing direct support and assistance. So please reach out to us anytime. And thank you so much for the support. Next, I would like to introduce Gilberto Vera from Legal Aid Society of San Diego.
Thank you for the introduction. Good morning. My name is Gilberto Vera from Legal Aid Society San Diego. I'm the senior housing attorney at Legal Aid. And first of all, I would like to thank Mayor Todd Gloria and his office not only for having me here today, but their continued commitment to eviction prevention. Mayor Gloria's commitment to eviction prevention is most recently evident and demonstrated by his request to City Council to appropriate $5 million in outreach and tenant education and legal assistance. Since the start of the pandemic, Legal Aid Society San Diego has worked tirelessly to help thousands of households within our community who were housing unstable and at risk of being eviction. Legal Aid has partnered with various organizations like City Heights CDC, ACE, San Diego Volunteer Lawyers Project, Community Law Project, and Disability Rights of California to form a collaborative known as the San Diego Eviction Collaborative. The goal of the collaborative is to coordinate services to help tenants outreach, education, and legal services to effectively and efficiently prevent people from being evicted from their homes. Starting October 1st, the state's tenant protections are going to be reduced. Tenants will be losing protections that limit a landlord's ability to evict for other reasons besides non-payment of rent. Additionally, the remaining protections are tied to a tenant's having a rental assistance application pending for emergency rental assistance. In light of that, it is very important for tenants to follow up on the statuses of their application and keep an open line of communication with their landlord as their emergency rental assistance progresses. It is also very important that when a tenant receives a notice to seek legal assistance before deciding to move or self-evict, because there are still remaining protections under the COVID-19 tenant protections. If you are served with a termination notice or an eviction notice from your landlord, we request that you immediately call Legal Aid Society of San Diego at 1-877-534-2524 to receive free legal assistance in order for us to review your termination notice before you evict. It may be that that termination notice doesn't comply with the law and you might be moving out sooner than you need to. Thank you again, Mayor Todd Gloria, for having me here today and for your continued support and towards eviction prevention within our communities. Thank you. They asked me to go again in Spanish.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, please.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to go again in Spanish. Buenos días, mi nombre es Gilberto Vera y soy un abogado con el Departamento de Vivienda con Legal Aid Society de San Diego. En primer lugar, quiero agradecer al alcalde Todd Gloria por invitarme hoy ahora y por su enfoque en el trabajo de prevenir el desalojo. El compromiso del alcalde para prevenir el desalojo fue demostrado recientemente cuando solicitó al Consejo Municipal que apropiara $5 millones para educación y para prevenir el desalojo. Desde el comienzo de la pandemia, Legal Aid Society San Diego ha trabajado para mantener miles de hogares, para miles de personas en sus hogares en nuestra comunidad. Legal Aid de San Diego se ha asociado con otras organizaciones como City Heights CDC, ACE, San Diego Volunteer Lawyers Project, Disability Rights California, and Community Law Project para crear the San Diego Eviction Prevention Collaborative. El objeto de nuestra colaboración es coordinar servicios tales como educación y servicios legales para llegar de manera eficaz a los inquilinos en riesgo de desalojo y para mantenerlos en sus hogares. A partir del 1 de octubre del 2021, las protecciones de desalojo a nivel estatal se van a reducir. Inquilinos van a perder las protecciones relacionadas, preveniendo a propietarios que desalojen por otras razones no relacionadas al no pagar la renta. Pero es importante que inquilinos todavía tengan protecciones debajo de la ley. Y una de las protecciones que permanece es que los propietarios no van a poder desalojar a los inquilinos si tienen una aplicación pendiente por asistencia de renta. Por eso es muy importante que los inquilinos regularmente chequen el estado de su aplicación de asistencia de renta y mantengan una línea de comunicación abierta con su propietario sobre el estado de su aplicación de renta. Y también es muy importante que aunque las protecciones se están reduciendo, todavía va a haber protecciones de desalojo relacionadas al COVID-19. Entonces es muy importante que inquilinos, si reciben una notificación de desalojo, no se muden o autodesalojen antes de hablar con un abogado sobre la validez de esa notificación. Por eso nosotros recomendamos, si ustedes reciben una notificación de desalojo, que por favor llamen inmediatamente al Legal Aid Society San Diego al 1-877-534-2524 para recibir asistencia legal gratis para poder asesorar si la noticia que usted recibió es válida y prevenir que ustedes se autodesalojen. Gracias nuevamente al alcalde Gloria por tenerme hoy aquí y también por sus esfuerzos para prevenir el desalojo. Gracias.
Thank you. Very helpful. Gil, thank you. All right, so quickly, in summation, and thank you again, media, for being here. We got to get this word out. Right, we got to get this word out to San Diegans who need assistance. Reminder, 170 million approximately received, 157 million already sent or confirmed to go out, leaving approximately 13 million left in the pool of funds that we have available. We've had about 23,000 applications come in. About 12,000 have been responded to or granted funds, but we have an equal number of folks who've started applications online but didn't complete them, right? So that's the target audience for making sure this remaining 13 million is utilized by the people who've signaled that they have some need or some desire to access these funds. Again, these dollars are going quickly, so we want folks to be there. And then the news today really is that with the end of the state eviction moratorium later this week, that's not the end of help here. We are working with our partners at the state and federal level to try and make sure that every dollar that's possible to get out there, that we could bring it to San Diego, because if you entrust us with your dollars, we will use them wisely and quickly. And lastly, we'll be asking next week the City Council to establish a $5 million legal defense fund to make sure that tenants who are under threat of eviction have the opportunity to get educated and to potentially have legal representation in these eviction processes. As the Council President Pro Tem said very clearly, we already have a homeless crisis in this city, thousands of people who already live outdoors. We do not need to add to that problem. This particular effort is helping to literally keep thousands of people in their home, and we want to make sure that every single person that's eligible is assisted with the help, the incredible help of the San Diego Housing Commission, as well as community-based organizations like some you've heard from today. We are getting the word out. We're national leaders in this regard, and we aim to stay that way. We recognize that the things are getting a bit better. Get vaccinated. This is your near daily reminder, but we are not out of the woods yet. And so as a result, we will continue to do everything we can to protect San Diegans during these difficult times. Again, thank you for being here today. All of us are available for one-on-ones, but appreciate the ability to get the word out into the community. We know folks continue to be hurt. We want to make sure that they have the help that they need. Thank you all very much for being here this morning.